Excel, your grade 7 science teacher. In this video, we will discuss about biotic and abiotic factors of environment. Are you ready? Let me ask you some questions. Have you ever wandered around the world? Have you ever been to the coolest place of the world? How about to the driest and hottest place of the world? And how about to the most breathtaking views of flowers and trees, even to the deepest part of the ocean? If not, now let's explore some of these beautiful and breathtaking places around the world. Environment is a collection of living and non-living things. Mosses growing on rocks, garden snails gliding on fences, and fish swimming in bodies of water are just examples of how living and non-living things interact. The living components of the environment are called organisms. The non-living components make up the physical environment of these organisms. In this lesson, you will discover more about ecosystems, the components that make them up, and the interactions that take place among and between them. But before that, here are the things that you need to accomplish at the end of this lesson. First, define abiotic and biotic components of ecosystems. Second, identify abiotic and biotic components of ecosystems. And third, cite the importance of biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem. But before we explore the wonders of the world, let's look at first if you really know something about our environment. Let's answer the following question.
Number 1. Which of the following refers to the living parts of the environment such as humans, animals, and plants? A. Biosphere. B. Ecosystem. C. Biotic factors. D. Abiotic factors. Alright, what is your answer? That's right! It's letter C, biotic factors. Number 2. Which of the following examples are completely non-living things? A. Chair, air, chicken. B. Cat, frog, trees. C. Sunlight, oxygen, rock. D. Leaves, dog, dinosaur. Okay, choose your answer. The answer is letter C, sunlight, oxygen, and rock. Number 3. Which of the following circumstances will not illustrate an ecosystem? A. An empty aquarium. B. A growing flower in a pot. C. Mountains surrounded by trees. D. Large bodies of oceans and lakes. The answer is... it's letter A, an empty aquarium. Number 4. In which place do biotic and abiotic factors interact? A. Ecosystem. B. House. C. Niche. D. Shelter. Okay. The answer is letter A, ecosystem. Number 5. The following are considered biotic factors except A. Butterfly. B. Panda. C. Sunlight. D. Turtle. The correct answer is letter C. Sunlight.
Good job, students! Most of you get all the answers correct. Alright, in your previous lessons, you have been introduced to the concept of levels of organization in organisms, plant and animal cells, and reproduction. This lesson will introduce you to the habitats of organisms and components of an ecosystem. And now, let's answer these two big questions. First, where do organisms live? Second, what makes me grow? Are you ready?
The first question is, where do organisms live? So we have here organisms, mushroom, polar bear, crab, and a monkey. Then we have the habitats, beach, log, forest, and the Arctic. So what are you going to do is to match the organisms to their respective habitats or the place where they live. Okay, now do you have your answers? Let's see if your answers are correct. Okay, so we have the habitats, the beach, the log, the forest, and the Arctic. So where do organisms live? First, we have the mushroom. Where do you think mushrooms can live longer? That's right, it's the rotten log. So most of the mushrooms grow from the rotten log. Next organism is the polar bear. Where do you think polar bears live? That's right, it's the Arctic. Next organism is the crab. Where do you think that crabs live? Is it in forest or in beach? Okay, that's correct. Crabs live in the beach. And the last animal is the monkey. And we all know that monkeys lived in the forest. Very good. Okay, let's go to the questions. First question, what is the place where living organisms live and survive cold? Okay, what is your answer? Alright, that's correct. It is called a habitat. Number 2, why do different animals live in different places? Okay, that's correct. Because different animals can survive in different places. The next question is, what makes me grow? Okay, so we have here a very small plant. So look at the plant and think about the following questions. First question, what do you think are the non-living things needed by this plant in order to grow? Very good, your answer is correct. Next question, what conditions are needed by the plant to grow healthy? Okay, very good. So based on the picture, we have the soil and the sunlight. The last question is, are plants considered living organisms? Why? Very good. That's right. Good job.
Very good, students! You successfully matched the animals to their habitats. And you helped the plants to know the reasons behind their growth. At this moment, let's have an activity by pair. The materials needed are pen and activity sheet. In this activity, you are given an example of an ecosystem ecosystem, and you need to identify the living organisms present in the said ecosystem and answer the questions that follow. You are given 10 minutes to do the said activity.
Activity 1. Observing living and non-living things. So this is our illustration. Look at the illustration carefully and identify those things that you can see in the picture. And now, list down the living organisms found in the illustration. Fill in the table below. So that is our table. In the first column, we have the organisms, and the second column is the number of population. You can write at least 3 organisms from the illustration. And also, on the second column, you need to write the number of population of that certain organism. For example, fish. So how many fishes are there? You can write that one on the second column. Okay, so are you done with your identifications of the living things? Now let's go to the questions. Number 1 question is, what living organisms found in that illustration? Okay, very good. So those are the living organisms that you found in the illustration. Okay, number 2 question. What organism has the most number? Okay, very good. The organism that has the most number is the fish. Okay, number 3. What organism has the least number? Alright, so we have the trees. Number 4. How will you describe the color of the water? That's right, the color of the water is clear. Number 5. Does the color and type of water affect the number of plants and animals or insects living in that area? Yes or no? Very good, that's correct. It's a yes. Number 6. What non-living things affect the number of organisms living in a certain place? Okay, good job. So those are the things that you identified as non-living things. So we have the water, air, and the sunlight. Good job!
Well done, students! Good job! In your activity, you identified the living organisms present in the ocean ecosystem. And you also identified the non-living things that affect the life of the living organisms at the said place. At this point, let's go deeper on how these things are connected with each other, and how the number of fishes, trees, birds, and grasses are affected by the temperature, water, and light that you identified in your activity. Ecosystems are made up of living things, or the biotic components, and non-living things, abiotic components. An ecosystem may contain many habitats where organisms obtain their food, water, shelter, and other things in order to live, grow, and reproduce. Biotic components are the living parts of an ecosystem. The word biotic is composed of 2 terms. Bio means life, and ic means like. The term means lifelike, and is related to all the living entities of an ecosystem. The presence of biotic components and their biological byproducts affect the composition of an ecosystem. Biotic resources include all living organisms, from animals and humans to plants, fungi, and bacteria. Biotic factors comprising the ecosystem include between various biotic factors are necessary for the survival and reproduction of each species. On the other hand, abiotic components are the non-living parts of an ecosystem. The term abiotic refers to the non-living entities in the ecosystem. Climate, humidity, altitude, oxygen, carbon dioxide all constitute the abiotic factors. Other abiotic factors comprising the ecosystem include
precipitation includes snow, rain, sleet, freezing rain, and hail.
abiotic factors are the non-living physical and chemical factors that influence an ecosystem. These factors greatly affect the life of an organism, for they determine what organisms can thrive longer and can inhabit in a certain area. Do you have any questions, class? If not, let's try this one. Do you have any questions about our topic? If not, may I call two students to share what they have learned today by completing the sentences given. For your assignment, make a collage in the biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem, given the materials, procedure, and rubric below as your guide. That's all for our environmental exploration today. I hope you enjoyed. At the same time, you learned a lot about the environment, especially the biotic and abiotic factors that we can see around us. Until next lesson, bye guys!